What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pens and Tea. My name is Carrie, and today we are talking about the most expensive pen I have ever bought. And what is that, you may ask? Well, you probably know because you can see the title. It is the Visconti Homo Sapiens Midnight in Florence. Oh, she's beautiful. She's beautiful, and I love her. Yes, I love her so much. So much, I love her. So that's a major spoiler for this video, BT dubs. So, what is this freaking glorious pen? Well, this is a Visconti Homo Sapien, so much like you've seen like the lava versions, like the Bronze Age, Steel Age, Dark Age, now some like magma looking thing that's come out. This is the Midnight in Florence version. So it's the exact same pen as the Homo Sapiens brand, like, but it's made clear. So it's not made with the lava material, as you can see here. Instead, it's made with like an acro silk. I don't actually know what that really means, but I know it's beautiful. It's super, super, super like shimmery. This one is like a deep purple and indigo, and the swirls are completely unique. So they've made ones like London Fog, I think it was called. They've done like green ones, they've done red ones, they've done like a jillion different kinds of this. But this is the first one for the very first time that ever just made me like literally want to rub my face on it. There's just something about the colors, the deep purples and the deep indigo blues that just, oh yeah, and it's like accented by like white shimmers that just made me go bananas. And I have customized this one by putting a little amethyst on the top here, the Visconti My Pen system, because it doesn't actually come with this top. It comes with just the normal Visconti logo, which I'll show you in a minute. It has the regular hook safe lock. So basically it just requires like this teeniest little turn. That's it. It barely even looks like my hand is moving, and it's uncapped. So it's glorious. And then because it's spring loaded on the inside, it pops off a little bit. So you can completely uncap it and recap just with one hand. Super cool. I love the size of it. It is more of an oversized pen, not quite as oversized as like a Delta Dolce Vita oversize. This one fits pretty darn nice in my hand. It is not meant to be posted, but you can. I don't feel super comfortable doing it because I don't want to harm the material, and it is hella back weighted if you do it. So I don't recommend it. If it's perfectly comfortable in my hand as is. The threading on the hook safe lock, while it is a little bit bulky in the sense that like you can definitely see it, you don't feel it. It is finished so nicely, and my thumb typically does actually rest back here, and it still feels really, really nice. The cap has like two silver rings here in the middle of it. The bridge clip that is supposed to look like the bridge in one of the bridges in Italy, I think the Ponte Vecchio or something like that. Kind of cool, just kind of like clips up and down like this. I actually really love this because you can do it with one hand. It's very easy to use, very easy to clip on and off things. You know, no problemo. Not gonna have any issues there. Like I said, I did replace the finial. Around the band here, it just says Homo Sapiens, and then it does say the limited edition number. So there's 888 pens made of this, and I have number 93. The barrel tapers a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but not really a whole lot, down to the turn knob here. This is a power filler, or same principle as a vacuum filler, but the difference is that, if you can see here, and I'll get a close up as well, when you turn this knob and you pull it down, you can see this little plunger here, and then you tip over the pen, the ink is allowed to go into where the nib and the feed are. But if you don't want it to do that, you can tip it back over and see how it just drained out, and then you can close it off. So there's two main functions for that. One, you've just saturated the nib and the feed now, so you can write for a good amount of time while blocking off the body of the ink. Supposedly that can help with burping. I always leave mine open while I'm writing, and I've never once had an issue with burping, so to me that doesn't seem necessarily purposeful. But I think what could come in handy with this is especially when you are traveling. I've never had an issue on planes with my fountain pens. Granted, I've only ever taken them on the plane once, but I did not have an issue. But this will block off the entire body. So you can have this whole pen filled with like, I think it fills about 2.5 milliliters of ink in here. And this way you don't have to worry about it coming through the nib and the feed and causing a huge mess. The only ink that could possibly burp out of this pen while traveling is what's in the nib and the feed. If you're super concerned about it, you could always block it off. Take like a tissue paper or paper towel or something like that, put it over top of the nib and the feed, and just draw out as much ink from what's saturated in the feed, and then that way you'll have virtually no issues when you travel. So that is super cool. I like that a lot. Does make it a little bit more interesting to clean because you are forced to just literally draw ink up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So it takes an investment of time to clean this pen, but I only clean it maybe once every 2 months, 2 or 3 months, because I keep the same ink in it, while I'm writing for that session. So for me, not a big deal. If you're wanting to change inks frequently in this pen, which I know a lot of you know that I do that all the time, but because this pen writes so well, which we'll see in the writing sample, I don't have a worry about, wanting to change it. I love the ink that I have in here, which is the Mont Blanc St. Uxbury one. I'm pretty sure. And I freaking love this color. The nib, I have a fine nib, is the 21 karat palladium Dream Touch nib, the one that Visconti has been using for quite some time now. And I love the way that this thing writes. So I haven't done a review yet for the lava version that I have, which has an extra fine nib. Spoiler for that, I'm not a huge fan of the way that one writes. But this, it writes like a dream. And fun story about this, I bought this pen by accident. Yep, I sure did. I reached out to a company that sells pens in Canada that's pretty close to me, and I just asked them if they're going to be carrying this, because they do carry other Visconti products. They do carry other Homo sapien products that are like considered their high-end pens. But I did not say that I was going to buy it. I just said, are you going to? And without any further communication, they ordered it for me. So they told me the price, and it was a lot more than I was expecting. And I panicked a little bit because I wasn't anticipating to spend that much money. I was just inquiring as to whether or not they were going to purchase it, because I was interested in it. But to pay for a pen that is this expensive to have shipped from the United States to Canada, because I am Canadian, it's not worth it. It's too expensive. Customs just every time. So I just asked them if they were going to, and they had already ordered it for me. So I felt bad because I want to support that company, and I don't want to leave them high and dry and holding a pen that's, that expensive. So we talked a little bit about the price. So I did get a bit of a better deal on this pen, which made me happy about it. So I did buy it. And I'm really, really glad that I did. It's a very happy accident. It is the most expensive pen that I own. Good grief, is it the most expensive pen that I own? I don't remember the American pricing. I'll put it down right here. But I'm very, very happy that I did. So overall, the aesthetics of the pen is glorious. I love the way that it feels. It is super, super, super smooth. All of the finishing details are super tight and concise. The only thing that I have an issue with, the only thing that just gets me a little bit, is the enameling of the word Visconti on the clip. In particular around the N on the one side and the I on the other. I think they just need to pay attention to details a little bit more to make the writing sharp. So the N kind of is like backfilled with the metal, and the I on the other side is covered with the shiny like white material, which you'll see in the close-up in post here. But other than that, I really, really, really like it. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna flip this camera around and we're gonna see how this bad boy writes. Okay, so Visconti Homo sapiens midnight in Florence, fine, 21 karat, quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this pen is just so great. Oh man, I love it. It is super wet, which I freaking love. You have to put like virtually no pressure down on the pen. So like literally, I'm not even really holding on to it. And it just writes like a dream. If you reverse it, it writes, again, very, very well, very smooth, and you get what I would actually consider a fine nib. So this is much more like a medium size. It's not exactly a fine nib, but I just love it. It is tuned to perfection. I've never had any issues whatsoever with skipping, hard starts, bad flow, any of that. This writes the way that I expect every single pen to write. It does have a little bit, and I'll try and move the paper up here. It does have a little bit of give, not a tremendous amount, but you'll certainly get a little bit. I don't recommend that you push it at all, but you can if need be. So for example, like here is regular lines, here's reverse lines. So you'll get a small difference there. Oh my gosh, do I recommend this pen? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I do so much. It is very expensive. So the price definitely has to be worth it for you. You definitely have to be cash. Do not take a month or 2 months rent just to pay for this pen. Just, oh, if you can, do it because she's beautiful. I love it so, 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 so much. It is a beautiful writing instrument. It's a beautiful writing experience. And I can't gush about it more. Everything is just great about it. And that's my opinion, guys. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you really like the video and haven't yet done so already, please do hit that subscribe. Videos come out about twice a week now. I do post on Instagram, which is Pens and Tea, so check that out if you're interested. I post about once a day, maybe every other day, depending on what's going on. And guys, as always, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.